Hi, everybody. No fancy introduction today because for the first time this year, we're doing a live panel.
No countdown,
nothing. I am just going straight into it,
man.
Wow.
Yeah,
I've been picking my nose. No warning. Thanks. Man.
No warning, no nothing. Okay.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Feel better?
No, because it wasn't the whole song.
Yeah, now I had the song stuck in my head. Hey, speaking of song, I found a video from like 9 years ago. A guy who did the heavy metal version of Contra every stage from the NES game. And it sounds exactly how I remember it because as a kid, that was so metal. Anyway.
Okay. So welcome to the 2023 Transformers Buying Guide Live. I am Anthony from Ashersnet, and today we're going to reveal to you our top Transformers picks of the year. Input, less input. These will be what we are recommending that you should buy for your significant others. Keep in mind that Transformers related. Hi, Catherine. But they're not going to necessarily be Transformers products. And so let's first start. Quick announcement. We have a special guest coming. It'll be here in about an hour. Two, Danny is currently dealing with a personal issue. So she is, if she shows up, it'll be late. And then TFA also running late for a different personal issue. He will probably show up before Danny does if Danny shows up. So starting with input, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let people know how they can find you.
Well, you know, after that low energy introduction, we got to kind of ramp it up a little bit. Hey, everybody, it's me. It's that N-PUT. And if you're tired of me, oh, gee, golly gee, I don't really care at all. That's right. That's all I got. So you can find me on my channel, Input Reviews and Customs, where I just really give my thoughts on the toy industry as a whole, on different companies and different things and what's going on. And I also do custom Transformers and custom figures, although the people really seem to like the custom Transformers way more than they like the other customs, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that because I like making them. So it's win-win, I guess. And I go live every Wednesday to talk about toy news at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Why 3 p.m.? Because, man, it gives people something to do throughout the workday, on their drive home. It's the perfect time to do that stuff. Raziel Kane, man, what's up? Where they got?
I hate following you after interruption. Like, I hate it. I need to go first, and then you ramp it up.
You know what? The solution to your problem is really easy. Just add an A in front of Raziel. So it'd be Raziel Kane. That way, alphabetically, see, it'll fix the problem.
Doing it alphabetically, yeah. I'm Raziel Kane. Nah, it doesn't work. All right, well, I'm Raziel Kane, and I do voice actor spotlight and voice actor interviews and toy reviews and toy acts and all that good stuff, live stream. I'm 45. I'm married. I have 2 kids, and that's pretty much it. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Steam, Discord. I don't check those, but I'm there. And don't forget to check out DJC Collectibles, my sponsor, a fantastic online store.
So essentially, if you want to scream into the void, message him via social media.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want me to do your introduction for you?
I'm good, thanks, man. I'm good.
You sure? Because I mean, once I can be like, and we got Raziel Kane to the bottom and down to the left. He's sitting right there. If you want to see the greatest of all time voice actor interviews, you watch his videos, baby. It's just that simple. Click the link in the description below and look at everything that he has to ask these wonderful people that make these cartoon characters come to life. And if you're bored and you're shopping online, baby, you can save 10% at djccollectibles.com. That's djccollectibles.com.
Oh, there you go.
So you got 2 intros.
Follow that. Yeah.
I hope you're happy about it.
Hey, I was just trying to help him out, man.
That's great, man. That's great.
You know,
TFA, are you here?
Hello.
Okay. So can you let people know how to find you?
Of course. First and foremost, ball weep, grog gnaw weep, nitty bong, everyone. My name is TFA1024, the TF Addict. You can find me here on YouTube as well as on Instagram, where I post adequately, I suppose. I got an upcoming project called Transformers Divided Mind, which may or may not be tanking, unfortunately, due to life situations. But I am also working on my very first TFCon video, and hopefully you guys will be excited for that, because yeah, went to my first TFCon. It was amazing. So please, if you can, and if you feel like it, please feel free to go over, check out my channel, hit the big red subscribe button and the big blue follow button, so I can transform your entertainment one day at a time.
Okay, and as always, I am Anthony from Hasslers.net. As Raziel Kane keeps pointing out, I have 7 channels. Some of them are secrets, but you can find me primarily on H&E Toys, or H&E Games, or Toy Break, or Game Break, or there's other channels, but link is in the description to the one that's pertinent to today. And of course, we do reviews. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Review.
The only account out of your 7 that I don't want to find is your Pornhub account. I don't need that one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how I make my money.
Well, I mean, if my Pornhub account, I would have like the perfect name for it. You know, if I had one. Just saying.
Actually, yeah, input, yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. So the rules are simple for today. It's the same as every year. We will go around to each panelist, and we'll get them to reveal an item. I'm being lazy, so all my stuff is laid out in a simple switch camera. Here it is. In consideration for time, each panelist will have 3 minutes to explain why they recommend that particular item. Again, they're Transformers related, but not necessarily Transformers figures. Other panelists may contribute to the conversation for a total of 2 minutes each. So, because we never finish these, we always get like to the top 3 of each list, and then that is it. So,
magic number.
Yeah. So we're going to start with input. And could you kindly tell us what is your favorite thing from this year?
Well, I could kindly tell you that. Do I need my camera on to show you?
If you want to show it, that's a show and tell. So, I mean,
I expected the camera.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my bad. Okay. Sorry. So we got Flames Toys Model Kit Leo Convoy right here, or Leo Prime, whatever they decide to call them that day. Fantastic model kit. They did do a like a smaller figure that's not a model kit, that's like 6.5 inches tall, that's die cast and a bunch of other stuff. But the cape is like this red crushed velvet, and it's got a wire running through both sides. You can pose it. Moon, the character Moon, is a sword. Is his sword, which I thought was a really, really nice touch. And out of the box, the coloring is pretty spot on. I didn't do a whole lot of paint on this guy. I just colored in Moon's face and mohawk. And I think that's it. That's all the paint. Oh, and I chromed the logo. But that's it. So,
Looks good.
Really, I recommend it. I do recommend it. So, yep, that's it. That's my first pick.
Okay, so questions about it. It does not transform, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so what is the articulation on it?
It's ball jointed hips, double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. It's got butterfly joints, slight butterfly joint in the chest. Head articulates on a ball joint, so it goes up and down, left and right. Shoulders articulate. You can go up, down, left, right, in and out. I mean, just here, I'll turn the camera back on. But if you look, I mean, there's the butterfly joint, so he can kind of, grab his sword. It's not, I mean, like maybe 20-degree of movement there, but it's enough. Comes with alternate hands that you have to build. Fists.
Are they like articulate fingers and stuff, or?
No. They're just different hands.
Okay.
And then I've got him using the open hands. So it kind of looks like he's grabbing for his sword, and he's kind of got like this heroic cape swoop thing going on. But yeah, nothing really hinders the articulation either. Everything, like even the tail up here, is articulated.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
nothing gets in its way. You see how much range you get here, right? That's straight across. This does hit the like the mane here does hit the chest a little bit, but this is a separate piece, so it kind of lifts up with the arm. But see what I'm saying? You can kind of.
Is it like Skyquakes where it's kind of like on a separate piece, but it goes over his shoulder, or is it on his shoulder, it's like built into the shoulder?
It's kind of you can see like there's a circle right here, like the little crest. That's what it's attached to, and then the arm plugs through that circle into the arm joint. So it is its own separate piece, its own separate joint. See?
Okay, so the question would then be, how much and where can people find it?
You can get it. I got this one off of BBTS. If you have a local hobby store, they might carry it, like a comic book store or something like that. If I remember right, the model kit was like $75.
Okay.
Like 75, $80. But if you don't want to do the model kit, the figure itself, it is smaller. The 6-inch version, it is smaller, but you don't have the model kit and you have die cast and stuff. And I think that one's like $10 cheaper.
So how long did it take you to build that?
About 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
That's
not too bad.
Better than I did with my grandizer. All right.
It took me 3 hours to apply stickers on a figure. That would take me way more than 3 hours.
I just did that Earthrise Nemesis Prime. Well, not Earthrise, but Netflix Nemesis Prime stickers. Holy shit, that was long.
Yeah. Okay, Raz, your turn. What you got for us?
Okay, I've because we said buyer's guide. I didn't actually do like top 5, but my recommendation for like if you're a parent, if you're a grandparent, and if you're a collector, younger collector, older, stuff like that. So as a parent, I'm going to say that the core class Volcanicus is by far the figure my son is playing the most with right now.
It's also the most you're playing with as well, isn't it?
No.
I've seen so many pictures of yours.
Just for him. And that's one thing that I did review the whole of Volcanicus, but I usually don't review my kids' toys because I don't want him to, in 10 years to blame me for buying stuff for me to review. So I don't know. I have a thing for that, but then all my friends are like, well, yeah, but you already bought it anyway. So, and he's not going to watch your channel because you're not going to be cool. And, I have good friends. So anyway.
I'm sorry, you're not cool.
Yeah, I am not cool. But this is a good figure. I actually have the Toy Hacks decals waiting that I'm going to give to my kid if he behaves well for a couple more days. And then after that, I will be getting the DNA upgrade kit for him that's coming out in January because my kids assembles, disassemble, transform all of this on a daily basis. So it's really worth it for him to have this whole set. So it's going to be his most expensive toy by, after at the beginning of 2024. So if you can find these at DJC Collectibles, if he's not sold out, and you can get your 10% discount code by watching one of my videos.
So what's the articulation? I think I've seen a couple of people that, like, it is not a high range of movement on there at all.
Bullshit. No, dude.
Really?
You can, like, the hands, because of the legs, the hands will move. There's a full rotation. Well, okay, it unpegs, but there's a full rotation. But the best thing about this guy is that he's able to do an actual freaking kneeling pose. And it stands. Both legs.
So how are the limbs attached? Is it by 5mm port or?
It's all 5mm. So you could actually, I've seen builds of this mixed with the weaponizers and the junkions and stuff like that.
I was going to say, I saw somebody use the junk, whatever they call them, and had a couple of parts from the Volcanicus. Yeah.
So that's
good. There you go.
If you're a parent and you want your kids to, because I would never buy a Volcanicus for myself because Dinobots should not combine, and that's an abomination. But for my kid, he loves it. So
It's unholy alliance. It should never exist.
Exactly.
I think all Transformers teams should combine.
No.
See, it only makes sense that way.
No,
Why isn't there an Insecticon combiner? What is going on with this? This should be a simple thing. A bunch of bugs squished together. There's 6 or 7 of them, for Pete's sake.
G1 is bad, you guys.
Why we're all here.
So while TFA is TFA, are you there before?
There he is.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so what do you got for us?
Well, for one, I got a fancy-ish setup in a minute, so just give me just a brief second to get all situated. Because I'm doing a face reveal. Hello.
We see your face.
And the logo on the TV, even though it's like completely glared out.
It's kind of glared out. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really do
All
much.
good. Who?
Maybe?
Hey, Jay. Jay's in the chat.
Yeah, kind of. Either way. So, sorry. I suffer from, as everyone knows, I'm neurodivergent. I suffer from ADHD and a lot of fun stuff. So I have a bunch of doom piles. And some of my Transformers get really dirty. So... But for my pick, first and foremost, I didn't know, I didn't see everything until the last minute, as per usual. So whenever I was reading over the summary on how this stream is going to operate, like having 5 things to show off, I wasn't exactly prepared. And then situation with my dad popped up. But I do have a couple things and that are going to be pertaining to this year. First and foremost, this won Toy of the Year for Legacy Year 2. So obviously it has to be recommended. And of course, it's from my childhood. Legacy Armada Optimus Prime.
Yeah, you were so excited about that. You made a video talking about how excited you were about it.
Yeah, it's a shame that series kind of crashed and burned as well, but I digress. This, as someone who grew up with Transformers Armada back in 2003, because I didn't super get into it until roughly around then, because that's when I saw a tidal wave. This is easily one of the best modern day updates of that Armada design for Optimus. This thing at a Commander class price point, a lot of people may disagree with it, but I personally think it's one of the best, if not the best Commander class we ever got. It somehow manages to pertain everything that it was meant to be based on the core design. The core robot is fully articulated almost to the length of Bendy Prime here, or at least the Cybertron version of Bendy Prime. Mm-hmm. But the articulation is fantastic. I do have my qualms with the base mode because I kind of like the whole idea of, even though it's based on the toy in the cartoon, it just looks like Prime Super Mode pants just splayed out. But unfortunately, they can't really replicate that with this. However, they did make an attempt, and I do appreciate it. And I think as far as main official Optimus Prime Armada Primes go, this is the very first one that's fully articulated in Super Mode. Like, you can say fans hobby, but that's not official Hasbro. This is official Hasbro, and they really went above and beyond to respect that character, respect the design. And I highly recommend. Again, it won Toy of the Year for this year. Like, it's in the Hall of Fame. So I mean,
my understanding is it has the mass for Commander class. It's like comparable to Skylinks.
Yeah,
it is. It's pretty heavy figure.
Yeah, he's heavy duty. I mean, like you're obviously still going to have your issues and your complaints possibly with like maybe yellowing and such, because again, you never know with Hasbro QC anymore. But like, you're getting your money's worth with this, because like you're not just getting Optimus Prime and a trailer, you're also getting a base, you're also getting a super mode. Like, I highly say it's worth the money. So I
think the playability of this guy, I didn't get him, but the playability of it makes it worth the price. Kind of like Skylinks, you have a base too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
that figure, I'll say this, that figure is what Hasbro should strive with every one of their figures. If they have to cut a figure from the line in order for all their figures in order to be something like that, that's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
Because that Armada Prime, all the love it gets is well earned.
It really is. And it's just nice to see Armada still get some modern day love. I mean,
Yeah.
Aaron Archer himself was like really happy to see this finally get a modern day update, because out of all the Armada characters, Hotshot and Starscream were the ones to get the most modern updates. We don't speak about this thing ever.
I have that one and I like it.
I
Although
like that one. I like that one.
I like it too, but it's not Armada Megs.
Well, it's the treads on mine. I got it new, but the treads on mine are like, because I guess they've dried over time. They're just really hard to move now.
I like the voice actor. Did that count?
I mean, it's David Kay. Of course, you're gonna like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which you also interviewed David Kay over on your channel with all the other voice actors that you guys should go check out after this stream.
Thank you.
His link is in the description.
Yes, it is. It's a pretty big link.
That's what she said.
Alrighty. So my number one pick is and here's the thing. I got 4 action figures and a Blu-ray disc, and as you see on the screen, those are my 5. You don't know what order they're in, but my number one is the Blu-ray. Okay, the quality on the Blu-ray, the soundtrack on the Blu-ray. I was not going to get it originally, but it was recommended by a couple of other reviewers who was like, that Blu-ray is freaking awesome. You need to have it. And I'm like, okay, I got a Blu-ray player on my PlayStation. Pick up the Blu-ray. It is fantastic. And it is the best quality I've ever seen the movie in, short of being in the theater itself. So I think the Blu-ray definitely worth the price. Originally, I think I got it for $25 at Target, but you could probably still find it for even less now that the Black Friday sales are happening now. So if you haven't picked it up already, go pick it up. It is a very nice collection and the movie on there. So definitely worth picking up. Alrighty. Input. What's your number 2? Unless somebody has questions about the movie.
There was a different way you could have.
Is it in English?
It's English, French, and Spanish.
The German version's not there.
Well, it's a North American edition, so we got 3 languages here. I'm
just saying, like, if you guys haven't seen Soundwave in German, it will blow your mind. Okay, like it is.
Now I'm curious.
Absurd. Okay.
You know what? Now I kind of want to see a parody of Megatron with the Hitler mustache, but that's just me.
Oh no!
All right,
we got demonetized. Hi.
Back away, not today. Disco lady. All right.
Hey, Big M, what's up?
My number 2 is this bad dude.
So that's which version?
That is fans hobby gunfighter. They are re-releasing the trailer at some point this year, supposedly.
Along with Arch Enemies as well.
Yeah. But this dude is fantastic. Like, he's got die-cast feet. The wheels here move up and down. So if you're going into truck mode, they slide forward. If he's in bot mode, they slide back. They lock into place. You can put the sword on his back. If you rotate these around, there's peg holes. So you can put the sword on his back and just kind of lay it across. He comes with his cannon. Yeah. Oh, he's got the Matrix as well.
Of course, there's always the Matrix.
Does the missile? Well, apparently the Matrix launches. I was going to ask if the missiles launch.
That'd be a nice surprise shot. You know, you get a Matrix in the face. Ah, my face.
Optimus' new attack in the next cartoon, Matrix launch.
Screw opening it. Just chunk it at somebody.
Light our darkest hour.
You want it so bad, Galvatron?
Boom.
Right.
Hey, Ninja Bill in the crowd. Hello.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty good figure. I will say that it seems like nobody has scaled the Matrix properly with anything. And unfortunately, this is the same case. Like, you see how big the chest is? There could have been more Matrix in there.
The sword, is it like plastic or is it like some type of acrylic?
No, it's plastic. It's clear plastic, and then the handle is black plastic. It's 2-piece.
Okay.
So
So is it
Really,
back
really-
heavy? Like I imagine that
No.
like has to be back heavy and really
No,
balanced.
like he's got some heel spur there,
very tiny heel.
but he's not back heavy at all. He stands. And I think what it is, if I'm being honest, it's all the die cast here in the foot, which is bringing all the weight forward.
Counterweighting,
So-
okay.
But and his buy it.
Where can you get it and how much is it?
It's I think it's like 120, and you can get them just about anywhere. BBTS, eBay, like he's pretty readily available. Fans Hobby, the only thing Fans Hobby has ever taken out of production was their trailer for these guys, and they're reproducing the trailer here soon. So
Again,
if
not
you guys
just for
can't
him,
find it-
also, sorry.
Huh?
I was just gonna say, not just for him, but also for Arch Enemy, their RID Scourge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, if you guys can't find it and you guys really want it, then you're you're A, not looking hard enough, or B, if he's sold out, give it like 3, 4, 6 months and they'll be back. So
easy to find is what you're saying.
yeah, very much so.
All
If
right.
you have the money. All right.
So-
My number.
So give me
2.
one sec, Raz. So for what you have missed, an action figure, an action figure, an action figure, and a Blu-ray. That's what you've missed. There you go.
Oh yeah,
Right.
okay. This is, I don't know if, I guess it's an action figure. I'm talking again as a parent or a grandparent. I'm not a grandparent, but I'm going to talk as one. And if you don't know what to get to your kid, but then you see something and he's like, let's say below 5 years old, you want to get in this classic heroes action. These guys are freaking
Bruh.
amazing. They're not rescue bots, but they're the same style. Basically, it's an offshoot of Rescue Bot. They're called Classic Heroes. They're made by Play School. You can find them at, I guess, Target and Walmart for you guys. Toys R Us if you're in Canada. And,
Well, no,
even
Toys R Us is
Starscream here, you
American
can't
now,
see it,
too.
but he has a smirk. So the details are there. This is a remold of World from, the Academy, but it's a remold. And actually, they're coming out. They have like Megatron, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Grimlock. They
Primal.
have Ratchet,
Primal.
Optimus Primal, and they're coming out with Mirage.
What is the retail on that?
About in Canada, I'm gonna say between 21 and 25, depending on the time of the year, I guess.
So roughly, like
So
About 10 to 12 here.
It's
yeah.
like $10 cheaper than a deluxe.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, so-
actually more expensive than a core class figure. But I mean, it's super sturdy plastic. You can throw this pretty much anywhere. So if you don't know what to get to your kid, and you want to get him into Transformer, you want to bond with, you play with your Starscream and this Starscream all together, and it's magical. There you go.
I am pleased that you are doing this wider range thing than we are, because we're all nerd collecting, showing off that, and you're actually going, hey, if you have a kid or a grandkid, like
Yeah.
you're being the responsible adult, and that is why you're not cool.
Well, I'm trying to get them addicted to Transformers young. So is it good? I don't know.
Hasbro needs to hire you for their marketing in Canada.
I do have marketing education.
I
Hasbro
also
just
have
needs-
student loan debt.
Hasbro just needs to hire better people in general.
Yeah.
Well, let's not get that far. I think the team moves behind it right now is doing a good job.
I don't know. The current guys, Sam and all of them, they're decent people.
Well, they got rid of that fake actress, so that's cool.
Well, she is a real actress, but they hired her to do. You know what? We're going off the track here. TFA, what you got for us?
I'm sorry.
Again, well, I guess inputs kind of gave me the green light, so off the cuff, sure. So, continuing on with a theme, aiming towards more adult collectors. Fans Hobby Naval Commander / Power Commander.
Yes.
It's another Armada Optimus Prime. Surprise, surprise. It's a very faithful update to at least the toy. I hope they do an actual like cartoon version of this because this is such a great sculpt. And I also want to give a shout out to Fans Hobby as well, because when my original Naval Commander broke, I reached out to their customer service and they ended up giving me some brand new part. Actually, they gave me a whole upper torso because I don't know how well you can see this, but you can see those two breaks there. And then this whole matrix chamber was starting to crack like crazy. So they just gave me a whole upper torso.
Nice.
Okay, so you have them both in the same pose. What is this supposed to be, a matrix holding pose?
No, it's an attack that he does in Transformers Armada where he combines both blasts and he fires like I don't know.
Oh yeah, they go.
Thing.
It's like a unibeam. Okay,
kind of like a unibeam, except it's made with like neutrons.
Yeah,
a neutron
and
beam.
They're like rainbow, like I guess, and they're rainbow, which is kind of cool. But I just always like that attack. There's no name for it, but
Okay, so what does the matrix look like since we're on the matrix rant? Just cover your eyes when you open up the chamber.
You gotta get it in the eye. Ah, my eye.
Hang on, it's actually a little tricky to get the matrix out sometimes.
and real quick, what he's saying about the Naval Commander is that the first issue had really bad chest breakage issues.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that.
Was it like a GPS thing or just thin plastic?
It was clear plastic and it was too tight. And when you would open it up, it would just break in your hand. So, but that has been rectified with all releases going forward from the second release on up. And then if you had a first release, they made it widely available for you to get new parts, new upper torso in the case of TF Addict's case. They did everything in their power to fix the broken ones that were out there already.
Okay, it's nice that companies are doing that type of thing. It's like some of them don't really serve the customer very well after the purchase is made.
Let me just say this too. I've had this Naval Commander since 2001, or not 2001. Sorry, 2021. And I just reached out to them literally a couple months ago, and they were like, "It doesn't matter how long you had it or where you bought it from. If we have the parts, we'll supply you with the parts for free."
Yeah.
So anyway,
really cool.
I don't have the matrix in either one of them because there's a reason for that. Just give me one moment. I'll be right back.
So, Input, since you're familiar, how much and where can you find those figures typically?
Pretty much any e-tailer will carry them. If I remember right, that the Naval Commander is like $250, but when he's in his super mode, he is Devastator size, like Combiner Wars Devastator size. He's massive in that.
Wow.
Yeah,
pretty big.
I don't have him in super mode, but I do have his pants.
Can you compare that with the Hasbro one? Do you have the Hasbro one in super mode?
No, he's still in truck mode.
Oh yeah, compare that with the Hasbro one.
I mean, I can already tell like the Hasbro one is smaller though.
Like,
well, I'm just saying, like, to give like a comparison of the two to get you an idea of how big it is. Because
I mean, I can here, I can do that.
Yeah,
they're definitely a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's massive, dude.
Like, I mean, here he is next to Galva Tyranno. Also, again, shout out to Plastic Armada on Instagram for hooking me up with both Power Commander and Galva Tyranno for about almost $300. So,
oh man, it dwarfs him, man. Just the legs alone.
The torso on him, and like, he's. Yeah.
And that Mega Tyranno is about the size of Hasbro's Commander class Armada Prime in super mode.
Yeah. Like, these are basically MP style, which I swore I would never buy, but when they did Armada, I was like, yeah, they got me. But anyway, you asked what the Matrix looks like, so how about a twofer? So there you go.
There you go.
Doesn't think a classic Matrix style though.
No, well, that's the thing with the Unicron trilogy is that like they didn't go back to that classic style until Cybertron, whenever Optimus still had the Matrix. Energon, I don't know if he even had the Matrix, but Armada, they were just like, we're gonna make it different, and they did that. And this is also a little thing you can do as a little feature with both the regular spark plug and the Corona spark plug. Yes, I know there's a joke set up there. but you can homage or reference the scene from one of the episodes of the Unicron battles where the mini-cons bring Optimus back to life because, spoiler alert, he dies. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, but because of the 86 movie, he can't really die.
Hey, speaking of 86 movie, I picked that up today. That alternate universe Earthrise Prime. $40.
That's not bad. Did
Canadian.
you have the trailer and stuff?
Yeah, I have the trailer, but it's missing the back piece.
Oh,
I don't have a gun, and there's a broken tab, but it was super cheap and compared to like whatever AliExpress or other place were selling.
So it was clearly pre-owned then. It wasn't a new one.
Oh yeah, pre-owned. Probably played by kids. So, but no, I'm gonna get a upgrade kit for the trailer if there is any.
A kid played with an Optimus Prime corpse. That is a sentence I never thought I would hear.
Oh, when you think of it that way, that is creepy.
But yeah,
okay.
If
Better
you want
than a
both
priest.
of these, sorry, I just want to say if you want both Naval Commander and Power Commander, I think they're still being sold on Fans Hobby's website, and they go for roughly about, I want to say maybe like $150. So,
Each.
but each.
Yeah,
but I genuinely think they're worth it.
shipping from their website though is going to be like $90.
They may do that. Well, I mean, shipping is okay. So the way I see that is just shipping is just a service. If you're talking about base price for the figure itself, I think you're getting a really good deal because you're getting Core Prime with all the articulation that he has. You're getting the trailer that still transforms into the super mode pants. You're also getting a unique matrix specifically designed for this figure, as well as Sparkplug, which unfortunately the Hasbro version didn't include. But I have a feeling they're going to do a Power Links Prime, and they're going to include Sparkplug in that, much like how they did with Hotshot and Jolt. But yeah, if you do want these, I believe they are still in stock. Yeah, so okay, I was wrong about price. So they're $183.90 for both Power Commander and I think Naval Commander is sold out. But if you can find him, just check Big Bad Toy Store, check TF Source, check all those websites. You'll find him. Because I didn't end up getting Naval Commander until 2021, and I found him on Toy Arena of all places, and I got him for pretty good. I got him for like 120 something.
Yeah, because he came out like mid 2020, I think, and late 2020,
I think.
Yeah,
like late 2019.
Yeah, he's been out for a good minute. So, and you can still, like I said, you can still get a hold of him.
Yeah.
So.
And again, the whole issues like Input mentioned that I failed to mention, those are all fixed on the most recent copies because they got so many complaints and they rectified it on future re-releases. So you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Right.
So anyway. So there you go.
Okay, so my number 2.
Again, there's a different way to word that.
So the second item.
Joke.
Yes, I'm also uncool. So I had these 4 figures, and one of them is a surprise. I wasn't going to get it, but then it surprised me. But the one that didn't surprise me, and the first Dinobot I actually ever owned, was a decoy version of it, and that's Snarl. Snarl was and probably is still my favorite Dinobot. Yeah, I'm on the fence with Grimlock, but I just really dug the Snarl. Just the way his transformation made sense. For those of you who haven't gotten them yet, you can still find them some stores. The Walmarts in this area haven't had them yet, but they still like mad stocks with sludges. But once they do, $55 US. He feels okay. First off, he doesn't have a little buddy. He comes with a sword that is basically flexible, and but otherwise he looks really good in both forms. His back scales come separate, so you have to put it together. But other than that, he just complements the other 3 members of the team. And I'm so looking forward to Swoop and hoping Swoop comes with an accessory pack because every Dinobot should have a gun and a sword. And so that was my number 2 pick there. And before we continue on, I should also point out that you can go to T-Formers right now on the forums, and if you're a reviewer, you can post your year-end list yourselves to tformers.com. It is the Year in Review 2023 forum, the subforum created in the reviews forum. I had that put up this week. So go ahead and post your lists there. So that is available now. And so I'm going to read a couple of comments here since we're 2 down. And thank you, Bill. Bill says, you're darn right there. I know I am. I'm always right. Let's see. Bill also says that he is still looking for Snarl. He picked up Core Ratchet and 86 Ratchet. There's an argument about the shoulders. I think the shoulders are perfect that way, but somebody did make the point, I think it might have been Jay, that maybe the red cross should be an external thing, but because of licensing or permission rights, whatever, the reason why they're not using the red cross anymore is because it is actually a trademarked, image. Yeah. So
that's why you get toy hacks.
That's why you get toy hacks. And Jay says Snarl is the best Dinobot release so far. I agree. He doesn't feel like Grimlock and Slug feel like
Slugug.
Hey, we're not calling anybody's mom's names here, okay? But Sludge and Snarl feel more compact. Like they got some mass to them. Where I feel like Grimlock and Slug are like more hollow. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well enough. They also have little buddies that make up for the weight difference. But I think we're getting a little bit more mass. I have not seen Gotbot evaluate them yet, and if he did, I just haven't seen the reviews.
Funny enough, Snarl in the core class is also the best one.
Yeah.
Just he looks good in both modes compared to Sludge, and
also
Grimlock, who has a tumor, and
I'd argue with that. I think Scar is the best personally, but I mean,
Scar. I mean, if Scar, I have nothing else to compare him to, but he is amazing. He is a very good core class figure.
Yes, Scar is the only core class Dinobot from this new series that I have because I thought he looked so cool.
Isn't he great? He looks good.
Okay,
so a toy.
Right. Input. Your number 3.
My number 3, my 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Oracle came into the office real quick. And all right. So my number 3 is I don't think anybody's gonna be surprised by this one. We have boom.
Ooh.
What was this? Transart Skateboard Gorilla.
Some of the names make perfect sense.
Yeah. This is the perfect update for the original figure. It's I don't even know how else to say that. If you are familiar with that figure and it's broken and you're all like, man, I don't want to pay eBay prices, that's cool. Just buy this one instead.
No, that's the one with the die cast all over, right?
It's not die. It's the vac metal and stuff. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Which one? Am I thinking of a different one? Maybe.
Because I think there's only been one version of that Optimus Primal that got like a flat out like re-release in a sense where it's like they base it off that design. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he had the cannon thing.
Right, the shoulder guns. Yeah.
No, it's what I'm thinking. I'm talking about the Virtual Boy from Nintendo.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Fantastic little update to this guy. And Transart makes some pretty good stuff. I think that I won't say that they can be pricey for what they are. But they're just killing it with their Beast Wars stuff. It's yeah. I mean, if you're looking at something from them and you're kind of on the fence about it, just buy it.
So how much does it go for? Because I assume it's available at collector e-tailers.
Yeah, like wherever. I mean, I got that one from TF Source at the beginning of the year. So, and there's no problems with it. I haven't had any QC problems with it, anything like that. The tolerances are really good. It feels It feels really good. The plastic quality feels really good. The plastic feels like the older Beast Wars plastic. Like it doesn't feel fragile. It doesn't feel flimsy. It feels good in hand and it feels robust. There's no die cast on him or anything like that. So for his size, he might feel a little on the light side, but like I said, the plastic feels really good.
Okay. And how much did you say it was?
After shipping and tax, he was like 95, give or take, something like that, like in that range.
How tall is he then? Because I mean, at 95, you think he'd be smaller than maybe the lion you just had up.
He's
Leo.
he's bigger than that Lyle Convoy model.
Really? Wow.
I want to say he's about 9 inches tall. He's masterpiece size. I mean, he's not in scale with masterpiece, obviously, right? But he's about masterpiece size. So 8-9 inches tall.
Alrighty. Raziel, what you got for us?
Okay, I'm going to speak to the older collector who has too much pride and, really wants G1 figures and stuff like that. And, he's really focused on getting original stuff and he's willing to pay stupid price for it, with blemish sticker, damaged box. Get over your ego. And this is just in jest. I'm just kidding. Do what the hell you want. But go ahead and give it a shot. Go on AliExpress and order some KO reissue Transformers. Yeah, and you know what? Even if I think they even have well, you can't see it because my camera's shit, but there's an actual Takara Tomy stamp on them anyway. So nobody's gonna know that they're reissues. I mean, these could be non-KOs because there's a stamp on it, so I don't know really if KO companies are, that have no regards for anything.
Well, I mean, obviously, if they're stealing the trademark stuff, they obviously don't have any regard for the rights.
Exactly. But if you're missing one guy and you can't find him under $600 in box, get a freaking KO, man. I got this Sunstreaker, I got the Sideswipe, I got a Red Bumblebee, and I think, well, there you go, Ninja Bell. Yeah, that's it. There you go. No KO, but the quality is actually really good now these days. It doesn't break. Yeah, no, it's if you're having that itch, you know what I'm getting for Christmas from my father-in-law? He just doesn't know, and he's not watching this, so who cares? But because I bought the gift and I give it to my wife, and then we drew names, and my father-in-law picked me, and then she's gonna sell him that figure. I'm getting a freaking G1 Optimus Prime trailer, everything, the whole kit for $60.
That's pretty dope.
That's really good.
Yeah, so
The
or maybe
fists go for
maybe 60 to
$60.
70, depending. Well, in the US, probably 55. So yeah, it's cheaper than the Missing Link one, which has knees.
Okay, so I agree with Jay. Other than G2 Optimus Prime, the Throttle Bots, the Computron Combiner, the Chronicon Combiner, and Rodimus Prime, I'm not collecting G1. Like those are the ones that I wanted as a kid or I had parts of.
Yeah.
But I'm not going my way to collect G1. But basically, the takeaway from what I understand Raziel was saying was, hey, are you a cheap bastard? Buy knockoffs.
I mean, it's not really a knockoff.
Budget,
Yeah.
Yes, they're commemorative. The two combiners and Rodimus were commemorative edition or anniversary editions. The Optimus and the Throttlebots I actually got when I was little. Yeah. So those were actually originals. So the knockoffs, how much did you pay for those?
Optimus is probably going to be the more expensive, but I think even Sideswipe, Sunstreaker was more expensive. He was about $60.
Wow. And those were what equivalent to a deluxe class today?
Oh, a little shorter than a deluxe. Well, no, actually, no, they're a bit bigger. Sorry, than a small deluxe. Like it's bigger than Pipes, but shorter than Trailbreaker. But the price varies. So it's AliExpress, right? So you have to check, like maybe the figure is 40, but the shipping is 30, or maybe the figure is 70 and then the shipping is free. It moves around. So you have to check different stores on AliExpress, and then you'll find one that, fits, makes you happy. So, and they have tons. Like they have all the combiners, they have all the everything, triple changers, Metroplex. Yeah, but I'm yeah. So there you go.
So our special guest for the evening, he just popped into the waiting room. So I'm going to make a note where we're left off here. We're at TFA item 3. So to present the guest, he is from television. And I had an opening for him. It says, from History Channels, the toys that built America, with his top Transformers items of the year, Rodimus Primal.
You know.
Hey,
Jerk. Primal, I'm glad to see you, but Anthony sent us on a freaking wild hunt of who you might be. With contracts and residuals and stuff.
Contracts and residuals. Like Anthony was actually going to pay me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad
like he actually has the money to do that.
I no longer work for Nintendo, so no, I don't.
How you doing, Rodimus? Haven't seen you since TFCon.
Yeah, it's been almost a month. Actually, it's now a month at this point, right? Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw you in person down in down in Orlando. I say down in Florida, but it's like I live here.
Yeah, we're both in Florida.
So just for anybody who's been watching us since 2020, 2019, whatever, Rodimus, Patriot Prime, and Kato were the first 3 with myself that did the previous guide back then, the first guide.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This is your first time back in 4 years.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's when I discovered Kato and Patriot Prime. Yep. I remember that story.
Yeah. So I'm going to flip things around so I remember the order I have everybody in.
Oh, good. If you want, you know what? While I'm here, let TFA finish his 3rd point or whatever, so that we can then talk more stuff. So I'll just kind of chill out right here, put my feet up, sit back, and let TFA
relax,
and give us what he thinks is the number 3 Transformer that he believes that is his toy of the year. I think that's what you guys are doing, right? Which ones you guys supposed to get for the year?
So we're doing the top 5 Transformers, not necessarily action figure items that we think people should buy each year. Same thing we did before. Okay. So recommendations. So TFA, Rodimus said go ahead and take his turn. So, with your turn, which you were supposed to have in the first place anyway. So go ahead and do that thing.
Okay. So again, I'm kind of just going off the cuff here because I didn't really have time to prepare. But this is kind of catering towards those of you who are fans of Generation 1 and also fans of Masterpieces. I still have yet to post my TFCon haul, and it's been a month. That's how you know how bad I am at this. But I am fond of this character. As I mentioned, I'm doing a little feature film on him and kind of doing something creative. X-Transbot Bond James, aka Punch Counter Punch.
Nice.
Right.
This is easily, if not, probably the only masterpiece style Punch Counter Punch we've got. And I think X-Transbots, first and foremost, this is my very first X-Transbots figure. Like, I legitimately saved that moment for him. So much so I double dipped.
Oh, okay.
Because
so it's the same exact figure twice.
Hey, we have PPR in the chat.
In a way.
Slight head difference. Okay.
Yeah, this is based off the US G1 cartoon Rebirth. This is based off of the Headmasters anime from JG1. I do have my qualms with it. If you're looking for a more streamlined transformation, you're better off getting the Power of the Primes Punch Counter Punch. That way it's more enjoyable. It's mainly the feet and the chest, because you have to have a lot of parts going up against parts and like a lot of compression. These feet alone are a nightmare because they have like the front of the car finding a way to like feed through these holes, and then they become like those parts become the back, so it's already a fear factor there. And he's also kind of lacking a little bit because like all it takes is like flip him around, not undo, but like reveal the face and then like reveal his blue hands, and then you have counterpunch when really the transformation is a little bit more involved than that. But I digress.
Because the Titans, or is it no, the Power of the Prime, whatever the figure came out, or was it Generation Selects, where basically you just flip the shoulders, flip the face mask, and the arms, I guess. So it's
I would show mine, but they're in a position for a one of the scenes that I was filming for Divided Mind. I showed it off on my pre-birthday. Braz was there. He saw it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to show that right now because it's kind of messed up. But like it's not anything super bad. It's just it makes sense in context, which I can't provide because family friendly. But yeah, I got him and the Japanese version both at TFCon Orlando. They were roughly the regular release, which was the American version, was 100. They charged 110 for the Japanese release, and you can see on the boxes as well that they're both different. So this is the one on the right, or there we go. The one on the right is the US release. The one on the left is the Japanese release.
Oh, okay.
And then you have the labels right there. So you have 87 MX XXVIA and then MX-XXVIB. So.
Okay. So unless anybody else has any more questions for TFA on the figure, we'll move on to Rodimus Primal. PPR is in the chat.
Yep.
Hey.
Patriot Prime's in the chat. You know, kind of learn. I let the guys know, hey, you know, just come in and say hi. You know, but
we always appreciate it.
If I'm gonna you know, do a little quick, you know, talk about some of the things that I think that people should be getting into this year. Things that I think that if you're able to still get your hands on, first and foremost, the new Skybound comics.
Oh,
yes. Get them. The first and foremost, the cup. This is issue 1. So if you notice Ratchet here, they actually had to digitally remove the first things they drew, because this is actually when I met Mike Spicer at Ocala Comic-Con. And you'll notice that his shoulders have that, but the comic itself is kind of like this new gritty G1 styled reboot. Action is really good. It's definitely not meant for kids. So it is more of like a teenage kind of like, so there are people who get killed, bots that get killed, that even happen in this. And then the Void Rivals is like in the same universe, and they're setting up a new G.I. Joe universe. So definitely, I definitely recommend getting into those new Transformers comics. It's like a breath of fresh air after 2.5 years of like, let's just walk across the hallway and talk about politics and call it Transformers, and yet no one really has an alternate mode.
Hey, are you
they never come
IDW,
to Earth.
sir?
They never leave Cybertron until the end. Yeah, IDW 2.0 was boring.
Oh,
one of the most boring reads I ever read. This is Image Comics. Skybound is the actual company who is making it. Daniel Warren Johnson is the guy who is writing it, and Mike Spicer is doing some of the art. I met Mike Spicer in person. Definitely recommend getting that. I picked up at TFCon this guy. I have not opened him out of the box yet.
Ooh.
But I know that people are able to get their hands on him much cheaper than I paid for it. But you know, I did like the Laser Prime mold, I think, as a figure. So, but I wanted to I haven't opened him yet, but because I wanted to compare him to, this is the Robots in Disguise 2001 figure, which, by the way, rest in peace to Peter Spellos, who passed away of pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
He was the voice of Skybite in the RID, 2001, cartoon. I also got this. I have not yet opened him up, but I think if you're a G1 fan and you love, the movie like I do, getting an Ultra Magnus figure. Yeah. I definitely recommend getting him. My kids have not been able. I have had to pry this guy off of my kids because they love this character now. We watched, I think this past week, like off and on, we watched Fire on the Mountain and a couple of different episodes with him in it. I know. My daughter has not yet watched the movie, so she doesn't yet know the spoiler alert about this guy. But they love this guy now. And so when I got the figure, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to do something with him.
My favorite line from the movie was, what was it? I'm Juggernaut, bitch. Yeah, I remember that. That was great.
You would, Anthony. You would.
Decepticons.
I'll show these guys off too, since I customized them a bit.
Thank you. Thank you, Input, for understanding where I'm coming from.
Oh yeah, 100%, man.
I know where you're coming from.
Same.
But if I will show off some customs here real quick, I'll show off my customized Legacy Earthrise Prowl. I love this figure because he's such a compliment to my customized Earthrise Prowl, which I have with a Siege head, and I painted him up, got some Toy Hacks labels on him. The only thing I'm missing, because I got this at BotCon in August, I'm missing the pieces that go here. So, like, it's just kind of like one little piece that's missing, but man, it makes the figure like scream so much. And then I customized my Earthrise Megatron, which if you guys have seen some of my social media posts, with a new head. So you could see how Megatron looks here.
Where did the head come from?
What's that?
Where'd the head come from?
The head is made by Neurowing and the Madness from TFW 2005. They actually made a design for the head, and it's 3D printed. I was fortunate enough that Larkin was able to do so in resin for me because don't have a 3D printer with resin. So, we were able to use that style, and then I painted it up. It's a head-to-toe repaint of the figure. So if you notice, the back of the figure is completely painted. I even painted the wheels. Showed this guy off at TFCon, and a lot of the big customizers who even had their customizer class from Lazy Eyebrow and Grimlockamus, I think, were there. And Switchcraft was there, right? So I was showing this figure, and they're like, man, this is so good looking, right? Yeah. So like that's how I ended up doing with the Toy Hacks labels. It really completes the look. Great looking, tank mode altogether. But like I said, he is a head to toe repaint. So I painted the chest gray, the arms. I had to repaint the reason why I had to repaint the arms was because if you notice, the back of the arms are painted. The plastic is black on the back of the arms, and in order to get the red all the way around. So in order to do that, that's how I had to do it. And then I had to get rid of that battle damage.
Right.
And so I painted the back of the heels. This is what the whole idea was, trying to make the best tank mode Earth G1 Megatron, considering that I'm partial to the gun.
So what was the time involvement on doing that?
Especially for those who are sensitive against the gun mode. Makes me, the whole reason why is because I have my, another thing to purchase is some merchandise. You can go to my TeePublic or Teespring and get a Megatron doesn't kill, guns don't kill people, Megatron kills people. That's it right there. That's
right there.
Yep.
I might need that.
You can get it in different colors, or you can get one of my shirts. So if you want some buying guide, go for it. And can also talk about my TV appearance. I can talk about a bunch of other stuff, whatever you guys want to talk about.
I still haven't been able to see that because I'm in Canada.
They don't show it there?
Well, I tried to go on their website and the listing. There's no listing for that show yet, so I don't know if maybe I'll be able to get it off some like third-party site like F Movies and stuff.
Maybe
they have the other
VPN or something like that, because right on history.com you can watch it apparently.
Yeah, but when I go, I need a VPN to be able to go because it redirects me automatically to history.ca and I'm stuck.
Oh. So I also think it has to do with what's it called? I think it also might have to do with the fact that Canada's new law prevents you from like seeing some things. That's why you're gonna need, having a VPN makes sense, because Canada blocks stuff with that new law that they put into effect.
Well,
And
it's more like
makes it
people are blocking us because of the new law. Like
Yeah, it's covering
Patriot
their
Prime
butts.
shared some news and I couldn't see it, and it said because of Canada's new law. So it's not that Canada's blocking people; it's people are boycotting Canada.
Oh wow!
So this is how you get a revolution.
Because
I'm
my
surprised-
understanding was it was news related. So if it's considered quote unquote news, Canada wants the companies outside of Canada to pay to broadcast that news into Canada.
Yeah,
yeah.
that and the fact that like the reason, the other reasoning behind it, to my understanding, again without getting into a political spat about anything, is that if you're outside of Canada and you have problems with some of the leadership, there could also be that. So I'm again not getting into politics.
I don't even watch politics here. All I know is that I don't watch news, so it doesn't bother me that much.
The only reason why I know about the law specifically is because I'm friends with another YouTuber who mostly covers He-Man stuff, and he's in Canada, and he was telling me about that. He's like, man, it sucks, because he goes like, I'm not into politics and stuff, but this is like really a bad law, and so he was going into it about that and how it's going to hurt and affect everybody. So yeah.
Okay, so TFA, do you have a question?
I've honestly been trying to chime in for a little bit. I'm just gonna say I'm surprised that like no one has recorded your appearance on that show and like just uploaded the clip with you in it onto YouTube or anything.
Well, it's not just a clip. I'm integrated into the episode.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like if you watch the episode, like I'm integrated into it. So like if you'll watch like 4 or 5 minutes into it, and then there's my face, and then like I say a couple of a sentence or two, and then they click to another thing. And pretty much what they did was they interviewed me, and they spliced in some of the answers that I said, someone else said, and it's all the same questions, but it's whoever answered it the way that they wanted to see on TV, and to make sure that everybody got their ample time on screen, so to speak. So I'm literally like throughout the whole episode, but I might be in for it for like a minute here, a minute there, and it's designed so that they complete what they were accomplishing, which was Transformers versus GoBots. So they were talking about how, who won the war in the end. And yeah, the answer is, of course, Transformers won, because Transformers is the one that still exists today. But they did say that like GoBots was still successful enough that the way that they likened it was that GoBots finished number 2. Like if you were playing against Tiger Woods and you finished second place every time you played against Tiger Woods, you'd still make a lot of money, and you'd still but you wouldn't be as famous as Tiger Woods.
Right.
And that's how they likened GoBots. So, and I was like, okay, that wasn't how I even talked about it, but hey, it's the toys that built America. Season 3, episode 1, the Transforming Toy Invasion. And they were talking about how both GoBots and Transformers came from Japanese toy lines. I provided for them a bunch of material, like a lot of the promotional art, and not toys that made America, the toys that built America. The toys that built America. It's a History Channel, not Netflix show. Yeah. And so they like that's where it is specific, because everyone's confused about that, because they have like I think like the certain things that made America, the certain things that built America, and they that's the History Channel's different programs that they have for it. And so they had me for their Transformers episode, which was kind of cool.
So I was under
the reason why they actually got figured out who kind of got into who I was, is that they were doing research on Transformers, and they were trying to learn what they could, and they discovered my YouTube channel, watched my interview with Bob Budiansky and Jim Shooter, and were like, this guy knows his stuff. And sure enough, they what's it called? They they contacted me. They wanted to interview me, and they flew me up to New York. And
oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, otherwise I would have driven into New York, right?
You just left there, and they pulled you right back in.
Well, they flew
Just
me,
when
yeah.
they-
So they
just
flew
when
me
you
for a
think you're
couple of
out, they
days,
pull
and
me
then
back in.
then I just came back home, which was nice because I was in all reality I would have had to have stayed there a couple of days and not like just driven there for a day and driven back home if I was still in Jersey, because their studio was in Queens, in Long Island City. And if you're familiar with New York, Queens is you kind of have to go through Manhattan, or you have to kind of go around a different way if you're not going to go into Manhattan. And the cost for bridges and tunnels and everything else like that is just astronomical in New York City. So, yeah, I'm sure like Jay Hollis still lives in Brooklyn and kind of knows about that, is still how expensive it is in the city. So, yeah. I appreciate that.
So before we go to Raz, TFA, did you have any other follow-up?
Oh, I was just going to say in regards to the episode debut, and it's not meant to sound insulting whatsoever. I was under the assumption it was kind of like a Pawn Stars type thing, where it's like they focus on one guest and then immediately move on to someone else.
No, there was because they not only hit Rodimus Primal up, they also grabbed Dan from Toy Galaxy
or Secret Galaxy now.
Secret Galaxy now, yeah. So they hit up a couple of YouTubers, and then they spliced through. There's a couple industry experts, a couple of people familiar with the whole. One guy from Hasbro, or formerly from Hasbro. One guy formerly from whoever had GoBots. I forget the company. I want to say
Tonka, I think.
Was it Tonka? Okay. Yeah, so there was a whole bunch of different interests coming together on that. Raziel, did you have a follow-up?
No, I'm just really happy for, that after 5, 6, how many years have you been YouTubing Transformers now? 6, 7 years?
2015, October of 2015.
8 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So after 8 years, you get on TV, you get that recognition on Cyberverse. That was pretty awesome. So I'm just really happy for you. Things are, I guess you could say it paid off. Now
it's paying off in the notoriety department. I wish, yes, right across. In fact, the 59th Street Bridge that you speak about it, where my hotel was like quite literally like when I got up on the roof, I'm sitting there looking north at the 59th Street Bridge, which was maybe a couple of blocks away, because it was Long Island City, which is right in Queens. So that section there. But yeah, the Bronx. I think the Bronx. You're north of there. So.
Input. Did you have anything?
For what?
For Rodimus about his experience?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I've been there, so.
I've never been in New York.
I kind of know how it goes.
Okay. No, well, I mean, it's. I'm only speaking about like the fact that like where I had to stay. Like I'm not like the experiences. Yeah, I ended up going to New York and what have you. Right. But really, it was a matter of like, Transformers expertise and how much knowledge could you drop and be able to do so in a way. Because the thing that really impressed them when they talked to me was when I talked about the rub symbols, and that was like, dude, this is like when you actually watch the episode, they recreated their reaction, the guy's reaction to me telling him about rub symbols.
Like they didn't know about it?
It was as if they didn't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had never, almost as if they didn't know about rub symbols before, because the guy said he wasn't really a Transformers guy. The guy who was in, like who was trying to gather people who knew about Transformers in.
And everybody's perfect, I guess.
Well, no. I got my G1 Megatron out and rubbed in gun mode, and rubbed the actual rub symbol and showed off the Decepticon symbol. They didn't have a modern figure, or they didn't have an old figure with a rub symbol on it, so they got a Titan's Return hardhead and just kind of recreated that on TV. And they were like, oh wow, like. And then they showed the commercial that I had a copy of that I sent to them, was the only we have the right to bear this symbol. Only we can be called, the Autobots and Decepticons, and only we can be called the Transformers. Because that was their marketing strategy, because it actually worked in the Transformers' favor in saying that GoBots was a knockoff.
Okay, yeah.
On
Yeah.
top of all like the other transforming robot toys of that time, because like
Right, because at the
anytime
time there were knockoffs still. Like even back then there were knockoffs, and they were chintzy cheap figures, and on top of
No longer
GoBots
cheap.
and Transformers.
On top of the
Nowadays
fact
they're
also-
reproducing the mold.
I will say this to this day. I will defend the Dinobot knockoffs that came out around that era, where like Sludge had wings, like angel wings, and it's like they're doing like really crazy stuff. I have a couple of those, and those are really, really good quality figures. I won't say they're good quality KOs because that still puts them underneath a like they puts them in a bad bracket, but they are quality figures. Those are the only KOs from that time period I will defend. That's it. All the other ones are flimsy and shampoo bottle plastic that shatter when you look at it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the old Easter basket ones that you'd get of like the combiner teams that were missing the wrong different limbs and stuff.
Oh, like the big versions.
You would get like a bright red like Predaking or not Predaking. What would be like a small one?
You would get a Menasor with two of the Technobots. You would get a Superion with
Stunticons.
Oh yeah, like two of the Stunticons. It made no sense.
It'd be like,
and then what's funny on some of those, they would be colored like drag strip, or like Air Raid would be colored like drag strip and be part of the Minosaur set, but it'd still be like a yellow
that sounds
jet.
Cool, actually.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty cool.
We didn't get those up here.
Sets, they were garbage.
The only
I remember I got a broadside and a Blitzwing. And the Blitzwing was the Takara, like the original Takara micro change, or the Diaclone colors. So it was in green and bait and like a lightish gray, and but the plastic quality, like you said, shampoo bottle plastic, man.
For sure.
Back in the days when those were basically like the Big Lots knockoffs.
Oh, I remember seeing a orange Devastator.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put.
No, I was just gonna say it was like there's a bunch of stores. It was like TJ Maxx, TJ Maxx, Tuesday Morning, Big Lots, McFrugal's. If you guys are old enough to remember McFrugal's before they got bought out by Big Lots,
might be a regional thing.
Maybe.
Yeah, it is, or it was.
Okay.
I mean, just like any of those discount stores like that, they all had them. So.
Speaking of discount stores, Jay Holla probably remembers places in Canal Street, that were all the weird knockoff things and stuff.
Sometimes for my kid, I buy Dollarama figures. Like there's a Montoy. That's the brand for most toys at up here in Canada. They actually have Transformers, like the whole car frame. It's all metal, like die cast. And then everything else inside, like they're all shell formers. It's all plastic. And they stand, like he has 3 of them. So it's all the same transformation, but the car model is a little different. And it's super fun. It's like $3.50. So like, $2 for you guys.
Speaking of which, when you were talking about earlier about like getting like toys for kids, I mean, Hasbro pretty much caught on and like have gotten into the dollar store market and then even gotten to the pharmacy market with some of the Transformers toys, which I actually think was really smart. And I was trying to look up where that Starscream that you were showing earlier was from, because
I got him on Amazon.
It's on Amazon?
I'm pretty sure I got him on Amazon because I didn't want to wait, because it was for like a gift last year. And they're actually... I love these things, and my wife told me, "Okay, stop buying Rescue Bots because he doesn't play with them anymore." Like it just, but I'm like, "There's Mirage coming in. Screw that! I'm buying it. I'm just gonna put it on the shelf."
I think because that's the thing. Like, because my son is 5 and my daughter is 7, so to get them nowadays, like the Transformers toys that they're making aren't really for them.
No, not the main line. And I mean, so, like, Earthspark, Cyberverse, yes. Generation, it's for us.
Right, but like they're not into Earthspark. Like they couldn't get like the cartoon. They weren't able to get into it. They adore G1. They adore 87 Turtles. So, I'm like, man, like I couldn't have been a happier dad that like my kids don't like the new stuff. They like the stuff that daddy likes.
So this
You
isn't
know?
this isn't like,
Well, there
like
was-
a buying list thing. I just want to say this because Rodimus, you mentioned the ages of your kids. If you genuinely want to get them something that's almost like that Rescue Bot Starscream, the Authentics one ain't that bad.
It depends which one. Wheeljack was okay, but the smaller ones are terrible.
Yeah, the small ones are, but this Starscream,
Yeah.
which is almost like a Voyager size, this thing's actually pretty good.
Okay,
It actually
but I
looks
mean,
pretty good.
is the transformation like too complicated? Do you think? Because like my daughter's 7, so like my son will tear it apart.
No, it's pretty straightforward. Just flip up the cockpit, compress and extend the legs, and then flip up the wings, which thankfully they do also pop out to make it easier.
It's if it's already a pop out piece right there, that's gonna be a challenge for Starscream. Who is it? We've had to glue. My Toy Biz Spider-Man and X-Men from the 90s figures were heavily played with, and the only ones that survived my childhood still were some of the Spider-Man and X-Men figures, like some of them. And so I was able to save a few early Marvel Legends that were opened and, and played with a bit. So I ended up giving them to my son because he's just running around with different Spider-Man stuff. But the two of them have been like kind of like wondering about, okay, what could Ninja Turtles and what Transformers stuff could I get them? And the new Ninja Turtles toys are, they don't really care for the look of the new Turtles.
But did they see the movie?
No, and I
It's
don't
actually pretty fun.
the animation style.
It's
my
weird.
Kids, I didn't like it. My kids didn't like it. So we saw the trailer, and my kids are like, "It looks weird. It doesn't look right." And I didn't care for the animation style of the Spider-Verse movies. So because of it's very janky, and it almost feels like it was colored with crayons.
It bothers my eyes a little bit, though. It does a 12 frames a second
But it's
thing.
very well written, which
I'm sure
good
it is.
movie, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's Starscream.
Okay. Pretty straightforward, like you said, but it still might be a little on the age.
See, while these you just flip up and there you
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Well, still, it's just a possibility because like these
Yeah.
are dollar.
You said they're coming out with a Bumblebee, right?
They already have. Like if you go to probably Target for you guys down there, because I picked those up at Toys R Us. And if you go, because it's basically where you get the younger toys. So you'll have the Rescue Bots with the Dino Adventure. They have a Predaking, which is Heatwave with 2 Dragon Head. It's kind of weird, but
It's from the
Okay.
Rescan series. Whenever they
Okay.
started doing like
Rescan.
the
It's the Rescan series.
well, one of them. It was whenever they started doing the tie-in for the Last Night, where they turned some of the Rescue Bots characters into dragons.
Okay, because some of the new stuff for the Earthspark and what have you and Rescue Bots have kind of been out of the loop of that because everything with the news has all been legacy. Everything is legacy. It almost feels like Transformers has been gearing a little too much towards the collector in that respect. So
Yeah.
And that might not necessarily bode well for the for the longevity. But then again, Transformers is, I don't know. There's a
everyone.
balance that you have to reach,
Yeah.
It's for
But that's
everyone.
why these are Play School. They're not Hasbro.
Is
Yeah.
Play School owned by Hasbro or
Maybe,
Well,
or it's a licensing
right.
thing.
or
but
a license? Yeah, it's
yeah, it's still an official product. It's
Right.
just not made by Hasbro. It's
just
probably
not
the
solely-
factory in Korea next to it, but whatever.
it's probably not like solely distributed by Hasbro. It's more so branded with Play School.
Yeah.
Kind of like the oh god, does anyone remember like the early 2000s Transformers GoBots from Play School?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nope,
Yeah.
I've missed those. But I mean, they pay attention to details. I mean, Starscream has a smirk. You know, so that's to me like that's made by somebody who knows Transformers, so that's cool.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Studio Series. Yeah, Studio Series. It doesn't have the 5mm ports and what have you. Whereas like Legacy figures, this figure in particular.
Oh man, I just got the Toy Hacks decals for that guy.
Oh, he's
so good.
beautiful.
The writer of the episode, The Gambler, Michael Charles Hill, is really happy they made this figure. Really happy. And I expressed to him, I said, I love the fact that you're happy about this guy, but I just want you to know, Burden Hardest to Bear, that you also wrote, is like my favorite episode of the cartoon.
That is probably one of
he was like, yeah, that was a good episode to write. And he went on a tirade in the one of the Facebook groups or whatever that he's in, and was talking about it. So, but interesting. So I'm looking now, like, because they've got the the Transformers Rescue Bots Academy. They have like the Heat Wave and but I mean, I don't necessarily want to get the Rescue Bots characters because
if you want to get, you have to look for it's not Rescue Bot. It's the same molds, but it's classic hero teams or classic heroes team. So like Megatron has a drill on top instead of a cannon. Optimus Primal's there. They have so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Classic Heroes team.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, so it's officially licensed. It's play school, but Transformers is good for 3-year-olds. But my son's 5, so I mean getting a
my kid still plays with this. He's gonna pit this against his Nemesis Prime from the core class. Yeah, he has weird.
I don't care for that Bumblebee. I'll tell you that right off the bat.
No, because it's not. But for him, it's cool. But I mean, it's a Michael Bay Bumblebee because that's the aligned continuity, right? So
I'm also pretty sure they just reused that same Bumblebee for one of the Rescue Bots lines.
One of the Rescue Bots lines.
Oh yeah.
For reuse.
So they literally just like reissued it. I think Optimus too, if I could.
Yeah.
But that brings up a question then. Raz, do you consider the mainline core classes child safe for a certain age group?
Well, no, because like Nemesis Prime, his head pops off all the time, so you could swallow that and kill a kid. So, but I mean, if once he's past that age, yes, my son is able to transform all of the core class except Megatron for some reason. The core class Megatron is just one bit too complicated, but he likes them. He transforms, but he's also able to transform Generation Select's Breaker, and he's 6. So because he's been playing with Transformer pretty much his whole life, like Sideswipe and other molds. So I think core class figures to me they're good for kids for that. Like he has all the Seekers, he has Shockwave and Soundwave, like the core Decepticons.
The other thing is the one-step changers in Earthspark. I noticed.
I don't buy Earthspark.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm saying like specifically like that Bumblebee is not a bad-looking Bumblebee figure.
Yeah.
The one-step changer for a let's say a 5-year-old.
Because the one-step is kind of like the Camaro, right?
It's a sports car, but it's weird. It's like it's like a cross between, it's kind of like a G1 meets Bayverse. So he has a G1 style head, but it does have the car hood.
Yeah.
Instead of the roof of the car being his chest.
We're talking.
That is true. Right? The core Seeker class mode has right to be as awesome as it is for what.
Yeah, we have all 3. They're pretty good. I'm hoping they make boneheads.
We're talking Earthspark Bumblebee, right?
I think we're all over the place, frankly.
Yeah, at this point,
I think so.
That's because you brought me aboard.
We derailed.
Because if we were talking Earthspark Bumblebee, I mean, it is G1 inspired, but his vehicle mode is that more of like a Ford GT.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. Yeah, it's more like a GT40. Okay.
Yeah, but if you want to get a Bumblebee, okay, I'm trying to create core memories for my kid, right? So that moments where he's gonna remember for the rest of his life. So as I'm going to open a G1 Optimus Prime on Christmas, he's going to open the Optimus Prime Bumblebee core class kit with trailer, and I've reviewed that toy already and put it back in the box, and then I'm going to give it to him. So he doesn't know, but whatever. That trailer is more G1 than those trailers because they have a roller and the actual drone has the G1 accessories, like, well, maybe not the missiles, but he has like, it's not just 2 clips for the hands. He has like the little antenna that scans, and he has like, it's freaking awesome, that core class kit. So, so we're gonna both open an Optimus Prime, and then I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be awesome. And then he's getting a Dragon Zord. No, he's getting a Megazord, kind of looking like the original Power Rangers, because he's been watching that show. So he's gonna open a Megazord as I'm opening a Super 7 Dragon Zord. So,
Boy, you got this planned out. There's going to be
for the past 5 years, there's not a gift that I don't know what it is up front. I know, because my son, he's like, "Oh, your friend wants to get you a gift. What do I say?" I'm like, "Get this, this, or that." So I know what I'm getting.
Today, earlier, we had come home from church in the morning, and then my wife hadn't gotten home yet, and so we were watching G1 Transformers, 87 Turtles, and then next thing you know, like, I'm in here, and like, after my daughter was playing Super Mario Odyssey, she's like, the two of them were literally going, more than meets the eye, and going, cowabunga. So so it's like, it's a lot of fun to have that with my kids and be able to like experience it with them. You can almost say you're like reliving your childhood, but at the same time,
I am.
In the same time, you're also getting to see them how they are experiencing it for the first time.
That's
I think it's called a midlife crisis. I think what we're doing is a midlife crisis.
This is my midlife crisis. I told my wife, it's either this or I'm getting a younger you, and she, she hates that joke.
No, this is just
so divorced.
This is just us healing our inner childs, because everyone's gone through stuff through the past, and it's like, as we grow older, we don't really appreciate a lot of the stuff we used to have as kids. And it's like, this is the opportunity where it's like we can now finally go back and do that, and also still rekindle and bond with that inner child in us. It's a good thing.
And I kind of had this epiphany a couple of months ago, to build on what you're saying, TFA. Mm-hmm. Is like, traditionally when you go through life, it's expected that you give up like childish things or whatever, but the thing that a lot of people don't seem to kind of realize is that life makes you give those things up, because you go from working a part-time job to a full-time job, and then you have kids, and then you have mortgage, and you have bills and car notes and all this stuff that you have to worry about and pay for. Mm-hmm. Is that we get so far away from that when we start to get to a point in our lives where we can essentially kind of take a breath and just stop for a second, we realize not necessarily what we lost, but who we lost in ourselves along the way. And then it kind of becomes almost like a panic to try and re-find yourself and try to merge the two people that have come from you into one being again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That is true.
I like the whole, when I started listening to Rodimus Primal was as I was just cleaning the bathroom, trying to look for something to listen, and I think it was Primus and the Quintus on video, or maybe Cyclonus, and then watch more, and then watch more. Oh, new video every week, and then it just spiraled down and I realized, dude, I was buying Transformers in 2008 for my oldest, who was maybe 8 at the time. I still have the Starscream, Hot Rod, and Mirage, and a couple more. And I was buying it for him, but, I was having so much fun playing with it. And then with Adrien, the youngest, it's, I have my collection, and then he has a small one, which is actually getting pretty big. So we can have that. So it's so much fun to rediscover what I like, what I'm interested in. And now I'm getting a little too much into Grandizer as well, like, Mazinger and Grandizer.
This sounds like Ninja Bill influence.
Yeah, but I mean, it all starts from Grandizer for me. Giant robot
You don't
fighting
have Bert
aliens.
in the
That
stream right now. He would be talking up you about all the different
it
like
was actually I streamed a game that's coming out. He said
right.
that for PS5 it was coming out like in March, but pretty much anywhere else it's already out on Steam. So I played him. So he came and checked the game a little bit. So but it's actually Bird that made me go back to watching Grandizer because he did all those streams about Mazinger. I'm like, oh man, I miss that stuff. And now I'm trying to get a good figure of Grandizer, but they're like $400-500 new.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I mean, to go off of that is basically like as adults, like yeah, we're going to be collecting this stuff until we're, like this is what our hobby is. There are people who collect sports stuff. There are people who collect, I don't know, they go heavy into cars. They get heavy into other stuff.
You could say there's people that collect
we
alcohol.
collect all these like plastic robots and what have you, and whether it's directly from Hasbro or third party or wherever, we get into the fiction, we get into the toys, and we enjoy talking about it, and we get to talk to other nerds about it.
Exactly.
Which is
I'm
what
on the
TFA. When I met you at TFCon, that was pretty much what my panel was about. If you recall.
Yeah.
I was on the fence. Either I'm going to melt down all my Transformers, and that's going to be in my casket, or they're just going to get buried with me. I'm on the fence.
I've joked.
No. I mean, there does come a point where like selling your collection, it's a matter of what do you want to keep, and what do you really feel comfortable that like, I'll give an example. At TFCon, and TFA can attest to this, is that
I can vouch. I was a witness.
You were a witness to my 3 bins full of Unicron trilogy stuff that I was like, anyone want to buy? And yeah, I sold a lot. I sold my original Armada Optimus, my Micron Legend Shockwave, which is the purple tidal wave.
Oh wait, sorry, I have to. Yeah, this boy.
Nice.
Oh, that was you. Right? It was you that bought it, right?
No. I have him, but I also brought him with me to TFCon. But no, this is the one that you sold. So yeah.
Yes, I sold that one. The purple.
But it's not.
Purple
This is not.
wave.
This was bought from TF Additress, otherwise known as Becky, in the live chat. But we found a listing on eBay. I didn't buy the one from you because I didn't know where you were selling it.
Yeah, no, I sold him. I sold
that you sold. So
yeah, I sold a lot of figures.
Does that put up into the Dark Fleet at all, or is it just one piece?
Oh, it does separate into the Dark Fleet.
Okay.
I mean, it has to. It's Armada.
It is. It's just the Energon mold in the cartoon proper colors in purple.
Well,
so,
Armada mold.
The Armada tidal wave, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but like I was saying, if you have any more Unicron Trilogy stuff, let me know.
I have a lot of Unicron Trilogy stuff that I do want to sell. The problem is being able to ship it out is that's the reason why I was like, can more people take it?
We're both in Florida. If you're willing to come over here, be nice.
Although I would like to point out that the timing was probably perfect concerning the age group of the Armada fans. Is just like you're in that perfect time period right now where they are collecting their childhood.
That is true. That is very true. I did notice that a lot at TFCon, that there was a lot of people when I was in my early 20s and Transformers was going through that revival because of RID 2001 and how everybody was going to these different conventions. It was like, yeah, Transformers is back as cars and trucks and airplanes again, so like you go to these conventions and like everybody's trying to swoop in and buy all the G1 stuff. And so now the Armada fans are reaching that age where you're going to conventions and you want to collect all that Armada stuff. And meanwhile, the Generation 1 stuff is like, is it still in good condition? Is it still like, can we find a complete Slug Slinger and in good shape? Or can we find a complete...
Well, PPR found those Omnibots. That was a pretty good find.
Yeah.
The Omnibots was a good find. And there was... people were selling a good, in good condition was Reflector. Reflector was going for a pretty penny. I have Reflector, but he's in pieces. Like I have the core robots, and the lens I think is broken, and it's missing most of the guns and stuff.
Okay.
So, but I have a reflect, the original reflector. I also have still in the box. I still haven't opened them yet. Is the toy accurate refractor from Siege.
Yeah, mine's sitting.
mine's up there,
right, like on the shelf next to the shelf behind me.
Because I got
in its box.
I got the 3 cartoon accurate colored ones because that's reflector to me. So
I got the toy color one, and I gotta see like just one cartoon accurate to go because they're always in camera, the toy color ones, and then I have the bot next to it. So
I have the
got
micro
both.
change one.
which one input?
The micro change one. The original
Nice.
one.
okay, so you actually have the Microx.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I have there. That box
Yeah,
there.
I got both the cartoon and that one
Okay.
because I.
But I mean the Diaclone stuff, and I saw a guy post his whole collection of Diaclone, and I'm like, dude, like the boxes were nice. I'm like, how did people know to keep this stuff back then? I don't think it was a thing, or maybe it was like a legacy from collecting like the old 6-inch GI Joes, that those fully articulated stuff. Maybe people realize you have to keep them in box. But I saw a whole collection of Diaclone. I was like, wow, like
Yeah, that's right, from
this
the
is
Crimson.
millions of dollars in there. It's crazy.
The old Diaclone commercials and fun stuff.
Yeah, but the Diaclone reboot, it's pretty expensive.
And also, I will say, I got these 3 recently. Haven't gotten them out of the box yet, but I've heard these are actually really good figures. I'm eager to get Detritus out of the box.
Yes.
Where's Hound? Come on,
I know,
Hasbro.
I know.
Where the frack is Hound?
Such a tease.
Strong Arm.
I got her. She's good.
I actually dig her. Like just looking at her like in person now.
I love it.
Like I think she wears the mold better than Minerva.
Yeah.
I
didn't get
this
him in
one.
there,
I've been told is a really good figure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait to get her out of the box and see how she is because I've heard she's a good figure, and we know Sideburn is coming.
Oh yeah.
We know Side. It's just I hope they retool her enough to be Sideburn. So
I feel like they will because it's like they got the basic skeleton. All they have to do is find a way to make him based off of a Dodge Viper.
Well, that's the problem is that how much can they? Because that original figure, this original Sideburn figure, which I have the blue one and the red one,
right?
Is a complex transformation.
Yeah.
Like it is very, very, very complex. I remember back in 2001 buying that figure and going like, man, this is really, really hard. And I was working at Toys R Us at the time, and I literally had a mom come in and say, can you show us how to transform Sideburn? I said, well, bring the toy in and I'll help you.
Nice.
They couldn't figure it out. They had such a hard time doing so. And yeah, it was a very tricky, complex transformation.
Yeah.
And then RID 2001 Optimus was the epitome of parts former in order to make that fire engine.
It's a cool way to do it.
I'm surprised they haven't released.
That was just all armor, though.
Yeah, super mode.
What was that input? Sorry.
I said that's pretty much all armor, though, for the super mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
and
you can go toy accurate with Studio Series 86 Brawn.
I called it when I did my review. There's going to be a Buzzworthy Bumblebee repaint of that guy in toy color.
They can keep Outback, too. I don't want an Outback.
I want an Outback.
You don't want Outback?
I want Outback.
I want Sea Spray. Where the hell's Sea Spray?
He's coming.
Come on, we are talking about Hasbro here. You think they're not going to capitalize on the opportunity to do a very quick and easy retool?
Yeah, exactly.
Into Outback, where all they have to do is change out his chest and his head, which is really, in all reality, is one piece.
But he needs, instead of the gun, he needs the Decepticon detector, the Dan Gilvezan voice.
Well, it's probably gonna come with that cannon that attaches to the top of the tire.
Oh yeah, probably.
You know, so
I'm just waiting for the inevitable childhood trauma 2-pack with Braun and Ratchet.
No, I don't need it. I have the Ironhide and I have my already customized Prowl.
You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen.
I don't need it. I was tempted to get the alternate universe Optimus or whatever of his corpse or what have you, but I'm like
Corpse Prime.
I think I'll wait.
Yeah.
But Hasbro, I mean, Mark and Evan have already committed that they want to do all of the mini bots. They want to complete the rest of the mini bots team. So yes, Sea Spray is on their list. I'm sure Power Glide is on their list. They're probably going to re-release that Cosmos once Walmart's exclusivity ends.
Yeah.
And you know they're going to do another run, or they're going to do a new take on Studio Series 86 Soundwave, because one of the things that Evan remarked was that they want to do Soundwave and RC because Soundwave is too short. The Netflix Soundwave is too short next to Blaster, and they want them both the same size.
Yeah.
And they want to redo RC again because they weren't fully happy with her being a partial off of a previous mold. They would want to do like a Voyager price point for a deluxe class in order to get her just right, which I would pay for. I would pay a Voyager price for a deluxe scaled, like in scale with a deluxe, but like with all of her detailing and being better as a toy and still being that G1 transformation, because RC deserves it. You know, she's a character that deserves it. And everyone goes, oh, how many times can they keep on redoing RC? Well, until they get it right.
Yeah, because my Studio 86 RC, the spine doesn't lock in when you finally finish putting it together. So
mine doesn't either, but that's why I'm tempted to actually get some paint and paint the joints there, like the white, just where it is, so that it'll stick.
Thicken up the tab.
I did that for Studio Series 86 Cup and both Orion packs and Dion, which actually I can grab.
So what you were mentioning about RC? So you mean like they did with SS86 Hot Rod?
Yeah. There we go. So Orion packs, I like even him. I painted the tab there red. Like I just got some red paint and just painted it around here with Tester's enamel paint. The reason why is because it's a thicker paint. And I just painted the tab itself. I waited like 4 or 5 days for it to dry. Even though it dries in like a couple of hours to the touch, but you give it like a couple of days to cure just right. Mm-hmm. And then stick the arms back in, they don't fall off at all. You know, still, working and everything. I don't have to worry about paint scraping because the paint has cured and dried, and it goes in just right. Like if you guys saw my review for Dion, the arm kept falling off. Well, I painted it orange.
Mine didn't. I've been lucky for my copies. Low QC and yellowing, no yellowing up here.
Okay, so we got about 15 minutes left. So what I want to do is I'm going to really quickly share my number 3 pick, and then we are going to go. What are you looking forward to in the next year? So my number 3 pick, real quick, because then we've done all the number 3s, is Skyquake. Frankly, I think it's a phenomenal mold. It's a great leader class. You can probably still find it online for $55. And my understanding is the problem that people were having with the cockpit folding, it was fixed in Dreadwind. So hopefully that it is, but that was my 3rd favorite. For those other 2 in there, Nemesis Leo was the surprise one to me. I had no intention of getting it, but I saw it in store. I saw the people messing with it. I was like, okay, yeah, gotta get. And then Magnus is 5th only because it doesn't want to stay upright when it's in trailer mode in the back part, and then it had whitened parts on it when I connected it. I knew that was going to happen, and I forgot about filing the parts. That annoyed me, but yeah, those are my top 5. And so What we're going to do is let Rodimus Primal finish his thought on Dion, and then we'll roll, starting with input, into what you're hoping for next year. So go ahead, Rodimus Primal. Let's see your Dion.
Oh yeah, well that's what I did. Is I also painted the tabs on Dion as well. You can notice that it's a different orange because just enough to match as close as possible, and the arm does not come off. Once you stick it back on there after it has dried, it's a kind of a tight fit on this one, on Dion, but I don't have to worry about the arms falling off at all anymore. I can actually, if you saw my review, I was literally going like this and the arm just plopped right off.
Yeah.
And I was really annoyed about that. And that's the fix, is just get some, or clear nail polish. Get clear nail polish. Smell for a couple of days, wait for that to fully cure, and that will thicken the post enough, just enough for any loose joints, like for the cup mold, to not have that problem. So that's just like an easy enough fix for anybody. And it's one of those things where I know people have their qualms about different figures and not being complete because of the price point. But my point about that is that if you're willing to invest time, you can get a Megatron that looks like Megatron. You can get a figure. I mean, because third party has done really well for the masterpiece scale, and they've done really well for the core class scale, but they've not done it for a class that I bought so many figures for. That make it all in that scale that I want.
I just replaced my Earthrise Megatron with a Jinbao deformation. It's smaller, but it's a gun. It's super toy accurate, and so yeah.
That's the thing. He's smaller, and he's not going to stand next to this guy and look right.
No,
and that's, to me, is a problem.
Yeah, that's why I keep my Earthrise just for pictures.
There you go.
Alrighty. So input. What are you looking forward to next year? I mean, we got the leaks. We know what's coming up, kind of. Even because I know you're not necessarily collecting mainline right now, are there any figures coming out that maybe have your interest?
I have a couple things on pre-order, and as far as collecting mainline, I don't spend money on Hasbro product. They decided to attack somebody at their door with armed goons, so screw them. I'm not going to stand for that. And
that is definitely a story for me to hear afterwards. But go ahead.
I've heard the story. It's pretty good.
So
pretty weird.
It's a D&D thing.
And I don't like the way that they talk down to their the collectors and everything else. And so yeah, they haven't earned my money. But
so
I do
who did earn your money?
Huh?
Who does earn your money?
The people who have earned my money, however, I have on pre-order if they decide to release it. I'm kind of hoping that they release it alongside the HasLab Deathsaurus, but I do have the X-Transbots Deathsaurus on pre-order. He's just as big as the Masterpiece Starsaber. So I have him on pre-order. I have Downshift on pre-order, the X-Transbots Celica Supra, because I think at this point everybody knows that I'm a Toyota junkie, and my favorite car to ever be produced is the Toyota Celica. Pick one, and I will answer yes. It doesn't matter. And there's a lot of heritage with that car. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But I have those two on pre-order. And I have a couple of things from Mafex or Mafex, however you want to pronounce it or say it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't pre-order too much stuff because you guys know how pre-order works. It's coming out August 37th. And then and then January 14th, it's out on the market, and then you're getting charged for it, and then you're getting charged again for the next figure that's supposed to come out 6 months from now, and then charged again for the next figure. It's like day after day. So I try not to pre-order, like a ton of stuff. And if it's on the website, like if it's a figure I'm interested in and it's still on the website, after like the pre-orders have gone through and all that stuff, then I'll pick it up. But yeah, Death Source from X-Transbots, Celica Super Downshift, and I think that's it, just with the Mofex stuff and whatnot. So,
All right.
Okay, so Raz, what are you looking forward to in the next year?
Well, let's say two category stuff I've already pre-ordered, but that hasn't shown up yet. I have the Super 7 Alligator Con. That's been on pre-order since like April 2022, and I know it's in store now, but DJC hasn't received this box yet. So I have a pre-order for a MechFans Toys Legend Scale Sunstreaker. That's pretty much a year and a half too, and it was supposed to come in last January. So that. But then I do have the Iron Factory Metroplex ordered in because there's no way I'm paying $900 for the Generations one. But stuff I would like to see in 2024 that has not been announced that I would love to see. The first one, since we have Dion and Ariel, and then we had Orion and Alpha Trion, I'm hoping that they release a Beta and A3. I would love to see that because they already have the mold for Alpha Trion. Just cut the beard, and make it brown, and then Beta just use a bike or whatever. So that I'd like to see. Of course, I'd like to see a Generation Select, not Shattered Glass, but a Generation Select Delta Magnus.
Yes,
because Shattered Glass is not sold in Canada anywhere, so I want a Generation Selects. And
86 Delta Magnus.
Yeah, exactly. Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. I would love Delta Magnus. I would love to see that.
But he wasn't in the movie, was he?
No, not
no. Originally,
if you want
his
to get
color
technical,
scheme.
Sorry.
Okay. So we're running in the premise that because they're doing that thing with Megatron concept art.
No.
For the gamers,
Delta Magnus actually got animated. And then at some point, and I mean, like, he got animated for real. Like, there's
because I remember the posters with his coloring
for the trailer specifically.
There was like one promo trailer for the 86 movie where it was a fully animated scene with Springer, RC, and Delta Magnus running into.
Well, it was designed because that was when they first decided to use that mold, because the very first draft of Transformers the movie, the design that was used was basically repurposed and kind of readjusted a little bit in order to make Orion packs. Because it was supposed to be Magnus becomes Ultra Magnus, the new Autobot leader, and then he gets killed, does not get revived on Junkion in the first draft of Transformers the movie, and then Hot Rod still becomes leader at the end.
Okay. So those are my two main that I would love to see. I was thinking of another one, but just package refresh of Run Amok, Runabout, and Ramjet.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to, because for the people who love the Battle Chargers.
Hard agree there.
They should release the Battle Chargers in a 2-pack.
Yeah, exactly. I'll buy that. Mainline, not exclusive. I'd love that.
That separate release was kind of garbage.
It was.
Yep.
Well, I think one being a Target exclusive and the other one being sold everywhere was really kind of messed up.
Yeah,
definitely.
Not to
mention that the Run Amok mold, the Run Amok version which was the white one, was in a wave that most people missed.
I was literally about to say that.
Really? He was shell forming. I didn't get him because I couldn't get the black one, and he was shell forming up here for a while.
Down here,
what TFA?
Down here in the States, Run Amok was like almost non-existent. Like the whole wave with like Sunstreaker, Run Amok, Fast Track, and like not a lot of stores got it. They immediately They ended up getting like wave 4 before we got wave 3.
Yeah.
Which one was the Target exclusive one again?
Runabout.
The black one.
Runabout.
Okay, so Runabout.
2023.
None of the Target ones, none of the Targets here put it out on the shelf. You had to specifically walk up and ask an associate to get one from the back because scalping had gotten so bad at that point that they weren't putting out new product for Transformers until like a week or two after it was released.
The same thing happened with the Buzzworthy Silver Streak. Remember?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Dude,
I
that
do remember
guy
that.
he shelved for him in Canada 40 copies for 6 months.
Dude, now he's at like every Ollie's for like $6.
Yeah.
And Ross and
But you guys
everything.
had issue with Trust as well, right? He wasn't found in Targets as much.
Yeah,
we had him in Toys R Us, no problem.
Yeah,
But-
like you'd be lucky to walk into a Target and see him once, and if you saw him once, you have to get him. Otherwise, you'd never see him again.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the issue.
Okay, so TFA, what are you looking forward to in the next year?
Oh well, it's in my username, so pretty much everything. But if I'm being realistic, which I am, I pretty much have Legacy United Wave 1 about 75% pre-ordered, so I'm pretty excited for all them. But with the pretty much basic confirmation of freaking Titan class Armada tidal wave, yeah, I need to see that immediately. I am beyond excited for him. Like, so much so I wish my mom was here to see that, because as the story goes, as I say every time, tidal wave was my very first Transformer. Like, he just
Oh,
is.
you
And,
started
the fact-
big.
Yeah. All because of one commercial. And I was like, Mom, Dad, I want that for my birthday.
I don't know what it is or what it does. It might not even float, but that's the one I want.
And then I think it was also because I had. Do you guys remember when Armada or like Universe toys from 2003 had like the CD-ROM, and one of the episodes was Awakening, and it was Tidal Waves episode?
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
where
yeah.
it's kind of like sparked everything as well. But yeah, I am super excited to see Tidal Wave. I am so happy they're gonna do the burning Mega Galvatron mode for him, because you see it on the box art. And I'm just curious to see like what else we're gonna get. I know we're gonna be getting like the Walmart Star Seekers. They're gonna be different though. They're not gonna be like, oh, Thundertron and then like the ones from the Align continuity. They're gonna be like they're gonna be very unique. I would have said MPM Bone Crusher, because I think he was supposed to get a January release, or it was December, but he got bumped up to November 27th, so that's fun. Honestly, just pretty much anything, like, and that's just Hasbro stuff. If I'm going third party, Fans Hobbies, I got to see their prototype for their Armada Jetfire. I cannot wait to see what that's going to look like fully painted and everything.
Oh, that looks wicked as a prototype.
Dude, I saw that thing in person. It's so good. He's so gorgeous. I'm so excited for that. Again, Tidal Wave, because we know they're doing Tidal Wave. Honestly, just anything. Like, any repaints, anything new. I'm in for it all. I'm in for the long haul. I've been with it for as long as I've been with it.
You might have an addiction problem.
You don't say.
Okay, Rodimus, what are you looking forward to in the next year?
All right. So as far as like, I kind of agree with Raz, like with a lot of the stuff, like a Delta Magnus would be great, and you know, re-releasing some of the molds that people missed out on, like some of the Earthrise stuff, like would be awesome. But of stuff that we already know and from the listing sheets, I'm gonna say Windblade. I definitely want to add to my collection. I finally want a good, decent Windblade figure, you know, that is posable, has a good jet mode, has a good robot mode, and we kind of haven't really gotten something that I could say that I can barely say that it was a decent mold. I'm looking forward to that, what Slipstream looks like. Again, to kind of complete that rivalry, and I like that Chase figure. That's on the that's on the Legacy side. Like on the Legacy, it's weird. Like Legacy is going to be a lot of like, oh yeah, Tigerhawk. Tigerhawk is a definite must.
Yeah,
for me.
those are the one I ordered.
Oh yeah, the Beast Wars stuff. Oh man, Tigerhawk.
Silverbolt.
Oh gosh,
But
and
Silverbolt, when is he coming out? I'm looking forward to that. But
Wave
yes,
I
two.
believe Silverbolt is Wave 2.
Wave
so okay, so maybe another month.
Yeah, so I have to get. I'm gonna need to get that Tigerhawk. But the who is it? But Silverbolt is absolutely a must for me. You know, for Beast Wars, I want to get Chase. I want to get Windblade of Wave 1 for the deluxes. I don't care about the animated stuff at all. Nor do I care. Not that I don't care. I'm glad that people are getting it. It's like it's not part of my collection. Like I don't need another Optimus. I don't need another Bumblebee unless they do a Studio Series 86 Bumblebee, which I don't necessarily know if they're going to do.
Well, there's
what I would really like to see is more. I want more Studio Series 86 stuff. I want that I think it's Scrap Heap or Junk Heap. It's Scrap Heap, right?
Scrap Heap.
Scrap Heap is the one that they're doing.
Yeah, the new one.
I want the Studio Series 86 Swoop. Gotta complete them Dinobots. Man.
Oh yeah. I'm actually this one. Yeah, that's on my list too. I need to complete those. I custom painted my Snarl and just to match the gold on the feet. Like all the feet are golden now, and I put the Toy Hanks decals on it.
Tell me what gold paint you use.
I didn't match it perfectly because the gold has my wife, because I'm colorblind, right? So my wife said that the original gold has a kind of a tint of green in it. So, but I went with full cart metallic pure gold, and to me, but I did use a white primer on top of it, and so, but it's my first job, so from close it sucks, but from afar, it's pretty cool. But
that's although I'm on the fence about Magmatron. Magmatron looks cool.
I don't like the alt mode where they combine it, where it's just one robot with his head shoved up the other one's butt. To me, it's Hancock, the movie, when he shoved that prisoner's butt.
Well, you got to understand that was the original toy.
I'm sure it was.
It's also no different than the Power of the Primes battle trap, where it's like Road Trap is basically just a head on a stick.
Oh, that is true. It is very uncomfortably placed.
Sorry,
okay, so wish list. If we're gonna go there for wish list, then I want a new battle trap that's more Generation 1 accurate. I don't want two separate robots. I want two vehicles that combine into one robot, just like redo it just as good as the Skytread / Flywheels figure, because that was a great figure. The Power of the Primes thing was not as good, so I want a better, I want a better Duocon battle trap. Other wish list would be to complete. I would actually like Headmaster versions of I would like Nightbeat, an actual Headmaster Nightbeat. Let's complete the rest of the Target Masters. Let's go some 87, 88 figures.
Yeah.
A Commander class Power Master Optimus Prime with Apex armor or / God Jinrai. That is, the cab turns into a robot. The trailer becomes the body that's fully transforming. Like, I already know you guys have your Armada Optimus, but I want that Power Master Optimus Prime like as good as if you're gonna give you guys that Armada Optimus, I want that Power Master Optimus Prime. And that would be amazing. And then redo Super Megatron.
Oh, yes.
Hasn't it been redone in Gen Select not long ago?
Oh, no. That's what I'm talking about. They already used the Titans Return Galvatron mold.
Yeah.
Redo it again a little better.
Okay.
Also,
use a better mold.
I want to add something to my wish list real quick because I didn't realize. I completely forgot. And Rodimus.
And Armada Demolisher.
Yes.
Yeah. On my wish list.
Yes.
Was that it?
Okay, but real quick, because I had to go pay attention to my dad for a minute. Armada Nemesis Prime, please.
Armada what?
Nemesis Prime.
Yes. That'd be kind of cool.
We desperately
need
that.
Oh, you mean like, okay, like the new Commander class.
Yeah, like
in black.
We desperately need a new Armada Nemesis Prime. Like
that sounds like a Selects thing, maybe.
I'm hoping, because it's like they could do it mainline because Nemesis did canonically show up in Armada, but if they wanted to do Generation Selects, to preserve it since it's already dying, they could do that too.
Okay, so for me, I already have Windblade, Tigerhawk, and Scrap Heap pre-ordered. I did pick up the Nemesis Bridge Crew because I don't have a purple Shockwave, nor do I have a tape deck Soundwave. But if they announce before it comes out a better sized Soundwave to Blaster, I might resell this one. I don't know. Other things I have on my list of watching, like Silverbolt, obviously. Steeljaw, if he's actually a Blaster tape cassette, I definitely want him. But I also would hope if they're doing Steeljaw, they're doing Ramahorn and Sunder. Let's see. Swoop, obviously. Springer, I'm on the fence because I now have 2 of the Siege Springers. One is the Wreckers version, and it's a pretty good Springer. It's going to be kind of hard to beat without it just being a simple repaint. And if it's a simple repaint, I'm not getting the repaint because why would I need to triple dip? Gears, Flipstream, Chromia, Sure Shot, Sandstorm, Vector Prime, Lockdown, Hound, Origins, Wheeljack. And then I am also going to pre-order, once it becomes available, the Sergeant Slaughter tank that is Sergeant Cup, because that is the only one I want to get in that crossover, because Sergeant Slaughter not only is a Transformers G.I. Joe crossover, it's also a WWF/WWE crossover as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So,
That's fair.
He was a good guy to meet in person.
yeah, I met him once too. Him and then George the Animal Steel. His daughter and granddaughter live here, so he was around on occasion. And when they would do events locally, I met the Bushwhackers, George. By the way, George the Animal Steel. That's not his real name.
No,
Thank you, Anthony.
The Bushwhackers, Rick Martel. So they had a classics WWF thing going on here, and I got to meet all of them. Although George appeared at my school periodically because his granddaughter, but yeah, I think I've gone through the list. I do want deluxe mini bots. I want to see spray. What was the I think Razor, you Rodimus mentioned the other one. Paraglide wouldn't hate a Paraglide, wouldn't hate a Viper, because they're going to make a Viper if they make a Paraglide.
Yeah.
And
I mean, a new wind charger and
wind charger. So yeah. So there's a couple, but Outback you can keep. You can take him to the steakhouse and whatever.
We need an Outback. We
need
this guy, and that's it.
Like, why?
Outback is in one or 2 episodes, and the accent of the voice actor was just so grating to me, and I'm like,
but he's voiced by both Dan Gilvezan and Greg Berger. Yeah. Dude, this is like epic
bad Australian accents. Bad.
No,
ruined a character for me.
I mean, it was the 80s, and you also had a country literally called Carbomia. What do you expect?
Hey, true. I'm only going to say this once. All right, I'm going to put it out there. Do you defend the murderous actions of Muammar Gaddafi?
You want the real guy? No, I don't.
The real guy.
No.
So why can't we lampoon him?
I don't understand why. Well, I've never been interested in doing so. So why is this?
The reason why they did what they did back in the 1980s was because Libya was led by a dictator named Muammar Gaddafi.
Right.
So they were trying to make fun of him without actually saying his name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that is the reason why they did what they did. This is direct from my conversations with Flint Dilley.
Yeah, I had the same conversation. Yeah.
And it's
you
no
know,
different.
if you know who Muammar Gaddafi was, then you wouldn't be defending him at all. You would be saying, okay, they made fun of it. It kind of comes off as insensitive because of the culture that in order to make fun of a guy and the country that they're in, it's going to come across that way. But that wasn't their intention. So, and that's the way that things were back then. So I'm not defending that, but I am just basically saying that Muammar Gaddafi deserves every lampooning that he got. That's what they did. So anyway, go back. I digress. Go ahead.
Okay. So for a reminder for everybody who's watching, again, T-Formers has put up the Transformers Year in Review 2023 forum or subforum inside the reviews forum. So if you are a reviewer and you're going to do your Year in Review, ours is already posted there. You can go ahead and post yours to that subforum. Otherwise, let us have our panelists introduce themselves once more. Input. Tell people about you.
Well, since it's my turn and I'm free to speak, baby, that's right. It's me. It's that N-PUT one more time, momming once again with everybody that you see on screen. And yes, it all rhymed and it all made sense. Where can you find me? You can find me on the YouTubes over on my YouTube's channel. That's Inputs, Reviews, and Stop Motion, where I do a live stream every single Wednesday talking about not only just Transformers news, but toy news as a whole. That's 3 p.m. Central Standard Time every single Wednesday. And I got videos every single Friday. What are they? It's a surprise, baby. So hit that subscribe button and find out.
Okay. Raz.
Well, I wish that I was the best there is, the best there was, and the best that ever will be. But that's not me. I do voice actor spotlight. I do voice actor interview next Saturday at 4 p.m., which is 1 p.m. West Coast. I'm interviewing Richard Newman. So tune in for that. It's going to be fun because it's always fun with these guys.
You're welcome for that, by the way.
Huh?
I said you're welcome for that, by the way.
Oh yeah, no. Well, you told me he was checking his account because last time I tried to reach him, he got hacked, and I got some shit videos reply. Anyway, but yeah, so that's coming up, and then I have a couple reviews coming up lined up, and that's pretty much it. So, but yeah, Bret Hart was the greatest.
TFA.
I agree with that.
Well, I'm TFA1024, the TF Addict. You can once again find me here on YouTube as well as Instagram. I post whenever I'm able to post. Unfortunately, life does not allow me to post as often as I would like due to neurodivergency, as well as being a caregiver / caretaker to my 85-year-old biological grandfather / adopted dad. But for all intents and purposes, he is my father. There's no other way to say it. He's my dad. But I do have some stuff in the works. I do plan on putting out my very first TFCon video, which Mr. Rodimus Primal here will be shouted out in, as well as Patriot Prime and all the other wonderful people I got to meet there. I have yet to even show off my haul on Instagram, so keep your optics sharp on there for that. I'm very eager to show that off whenever I just get the energy to, because content creation is hard. I am also working on a Transformers stop motion film called Transformers Divided Mind, a story about Punch Counter Punch dealing with his Decepticon alter ego becoming sentient. So please stay tuned for that as well. And I also do my own little podcast, which I don't promote well enough because I don't know how to do this stuff. It's called TFTC. That's Transformers Thought Corner to you and me. I post that at least every month, and topics do vary from more thought-provoking stuff to news coverage and so on and so forth. So feel free to go over there and join us in the conversation, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. But other than that, once again, as usual, if you haven't done so already and you would like to, please feel free to go over, hit the big red subscribe button and the big blue follow button over on Instagram so I can transform your entertainment one day at a time.
Okay, Rodimus.
All right. So if you probably have already seen my channel, I've been around for almost 8 years making Transformers news, discussions, retrospectives on characters, and much more. I've done videos on everything from who became Cyclonus and what became of Dion, and the proper origin of the Constructicons, to simple retrospectives on characters like Goldbug and the Throttlebots, to Hound and Thundercracker, Scourge, and much, much more. I've done toy reviews. I usually cover the news. I'll cover everything from, some of the new figures that are coming out, that Hasbro has, announced, and talk about their live streams. Usually I try to condense it down, which is kind of funny because usually we don't do so on these streams. But we also have fun on these streams too, like whether I'm on here or I'm on elsewhere. But you can find my channel here at YouTube at Rodimus Primal. You can find me on Twitter, now known as X, at Rodimus Primal. Rodimus Primal show, or fan show, I think it is, both on Facebook and on Instagram. And of course, you can support my channel through Patreon or channel memberships, or purchase my some of my awesome merch that I've got going on. So, of course, with all of that, I want to know what you guys think. So, yeah.
Okay, so thank you all for watching. Thank you all for participating in the panel today. Please check out Transformers Reviewers. Their URLs are in the description. You can find all their channels, and from there, their social media. Don't forget to contribute your list in the comments, and again, T-Formers. And please remember to like and subscribe for everything. Thank you for watching. And
until next time, till all are one.
That's right.